Welcome to Flames Central Game Day on the campus of Liberty University, brought to you by Earthright Mid-Atlantic, solar and energy efficiency. Well, we welcome you here to Liberty University. Senior Day on the mountain. Rhett McGibbon alongside Walter Virgil Jr., Marshall Roberts, and Pat Kelly. Senior Day, emotional day. Pat, do you remember yours?
I do. I did, at the end of a pretty long career, a long injury-riddled career, I'll say. The weather was pretty similar to what we've got tonight. Last game with Turner Gale kind of on the field there. We were able to come in, get a win. A lot of people will remember Des Rice, Flames legend, scored a touchdown that game. It was a super fun game. We ended up getting the win 28-14 over Stony Brook, who sort of became a rival. But, yeah, of course I remember it.
Any tears on that day?
I will not divulge those answers. Okay, yes, there were tears, all right? All right, gosh.
Fair. Well, hey, Liberty Senior Day today, but also in the race for a New Year's Six Bowl. This is going down to the wire, and a lot of Liberty fans out there unhappy where Liberty is at in the AP poll. Currently ranked 25, did not move up after that impressive win over ODU, while they saw their counterparts in the G5, Tulane and JMU, move up 3 spots. What are we all thinking here?
That's really loaded, because I think a lot of us, a lot of individuals have been looking at this, and granted, the schedule hasn't been loaded with Power 5 guys, and that's really what you want to see. But you have to also take in consideration that, Liberty University has been blowing guys out of the water. And so, of course, people here at Liberty University are really offended about it right now.
Well, as a coach, all you can do is control the controllables. So that's all I'm preaching. That's all I'm talking about right now. That's all I can think about. Control the controllables right now.
Guys, we can't just gloss over the fact that Tulane moved up in the rankings, but their last 3 games against ECU, Tulsa, and Rice, they won by a combined 7 points. They beat Rice, a carbohydrate, by 2 points. It's like unacceptable. I do not see how Tulane has been able to move up as a result, and Liberty has kind of stayed in place. Liberty's playing the teams that they have on their schedule, and they're just beating the heck out of them. That's all that they can do.
Do LU fans have a right to be slightly annoyed and curious at what's going on?
Definitely, especially since at JMU, these guys are being, their ranking is through the roof, and they're not even eligible to even play for a bowl game. Right. So you would think that those things would be taken into consideration.
I will say this to our fans out there watching. Glad you're watching the #1 pregame show in the nation today in the state of Virginia, I will say. They may have Pat McAfee. We have Pat Kelly.
Let's go.
Twice as good looking. All right. Lots of disappointment, lots of feelings of disrespect, I would say, among Flames Nation when it comes to the AP rankings. And that goes to the coaching staff as well. And Jamie Chadwell talked about it after last week's win.
We talked to our team this week about earning respect, and so we, at Liberty, and our conference doesn't get the respect it deserves. This team played 6 games in the Sun Belt, 3 up, 3 down, and every game is within a touchdown, and we completely dominated them. And so I want to hear that, oh, you don't play nobody. Our conference got us prepared for this game, and you saw what happened. And so we'll take on anybody, anywhere, and I believe in our team and our conference. And so, but when you talk about us and you talk about this conference, I do believe we deserve more respect than we're getting.
Coach Jamie Chadwell getting his team fired up, and he's going to need to. The date is set. The team is set as well. New Mexico State Aggies taking on Liberty in the Conference USA Championship game. That game coming on December 1st right here at Williams Stadium. Make sure you get your tickets at libertyflames.com/tickets. And a New Mexico State team that on the road took down Western Kentucky in what a lot of people believed to be an easy win for WKU at home.
Yeah, guys, I'll go on record saying I definitely picked Western Kentucky in this game. I thought they were super talented, especially on offense with Austin Reed at quarterback, Malachi Corley at receiver, a guy who's going to play in the NFL. I thought they had too much firepower. Turns out that New Mexico State behind a Jerry Kill, very well-coached team came out, and they just dominated.
I think Coach Kill's really got this program going. The last several years, they're winning football games that people don't expect. They can come in here and be a really nasty, nasty opponent for us.
Yeah, Diego Pavia, he's still in the pocket. We saw that they switched him out a couple times when they were here at Liberty University, but he's been stepping up to the plate and getting things done for those guys.
Yeah, big win for the Aggies going to the Conference USA Championship game. Focusing on today, a team that actually beat the Aggies week 0 is UMass. Believe it or not, going all the way back.
Fun fact.
Yeah, this is a team that when they have time to prepare, they do well. Week 0, obviously, first game of the year. They came out, played strong. They had a bye week before Army. They won that game, had a bye week before coming to this Liberty game. So a lot to be watchful for. And when we look at our scouting report brought to us by Century, this is a ground and pound team.
Yeah, this team definitely does a really good job. Those offensive linemen, those big boys up front get really good push, getting up to the second level. What's really impressive is they've got a guy with 1,000 yards rushing on the season, like Liberty does. Only 16 guys in the NCAA so far this year over 1,000 yards, and UMass, they've got one of them.
Yeah, Lynch, Adams, and this Simpson kid, their wide receiver, he can really get over top. So they're really going to have to be concerned with play-action shots. That's going to be one thing we're going to have to defend.
It's going to be important to stop this run game. You have to wrap this young man and bring him down to the ground. It's important.
Yeah, he's a big body, Greg DeRosier Jr., and obviously had a breakout game last game, 3 touchdowns. When we look at LU, it's been all about the long ball here as of late, and Kaden Salter has shown out.
Yeah, he really has. At number 2 in the country in yards per completion. It's super fun to watch. We talked last week a little bit about, do they have a true number 1? Everybody makes plays for this squad. You see Salter making just an absolute dime of a throw there. And then the ability to take the top off the defense and win your one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, Daniels, Frith, Bedgood, they're all getting shots downfield off of great play-action shots from Salter.
When you look at C.J. Daniels, last week we spoke about, does Liberty have a top wide receiver, WR number 1, and C.J. Daniels has proven to be that guy so far. Well, thrilled to be joined now by Liberty Director of Athletics, Ian McCaw. Ian, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, Rhett, great to be with you.
Yeah, good stuff. We were saying this is the number 1 pregame show in the state of Virginia today. Just throwing that out there. I know game day is some other town, but we won't talk about that.
Was there any doubt?
Yeah, exactly, for sure. A lot of Flames Nation curious of the fact that Tulane and JMU moving up in the rankings +3. But when you look at Liberty's strength of schedule, do they have a right to say, hey, we should be up there too, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. You know, certainly if you look at our resume, I think we have the best resume in the group of 5 right now. We're the only 10-0 group of 5 regular season champion. We've won 10 FBS games. No other group of 5 teams won 10 FBS games. I think the next highest is 8. And we have a win over an 8-win New Mexico State team, a 7-win Jacksonville State team, and a 6-win Bowling Green team. So we have the best resume in the group of 5. We just need the pollsters to recognize that. And obviously, we still have a lot of work ahead of us.
Let's go back to the summer really quick. Let's say you're sitting in your office at August and you look down your calendar and you see November 18th, Liberty's taking on UMass. Would you say 10-0? Did you believe at that moment this team would be 10-0? And how great of a job has this coaching staff done in their first year at LU?
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have foreseen the way this year's unfolded. Jamie Chadwell and his staff have done an absolutely incredible job. Built a really strong culture within the program and been able to integrate both the returning players and the new players, and they've come together and obviously performed incredibly well. So we're really proud of him and proud of where our football program is right now.
Ian, one thing that I would say that I think a lot of people maybe don't understand is how difficult the job of an athletic director truly is. The day in, the day out, staying on top of things. We kind of move now into what a lot of people dub as silly season. You know, you see coaches getting fired, coaches getting extended. Can you tell us a little bit about the process of how far ahead do you need to be in thinking about extending a coach? Or, you know, in the past, coaches will get big wins, right? And it's like, well, you know, we need to try and stay ahead. We need to keep this guy here. What does that process look like?
Yeah, one of the things I think Liberty's done a really good job of is that we've been very proactive in terms of working with our coaches, and we've afforded successful coaches long-term contracts, not just in the high-profile sports, but in all of our programs. And we're blessed. I think I wouldn't trade our coaching staff for any in the country right now. I think we just have great coaches across the board, and they came here for the right reason. They bought into Liberty's mission, and they stay for the right reason, which is they're committed to Liberty's mission.
Ian, with the situation we're in right now, with us being in a where people are talking about we're not playing any Power 5 teams. Later on in the future, would you consider scheduling more Power 5 highly rated programs, either going there or coming here?
Yeah, Marshall, our preferred model every year is to play 1 Power 5, 2 regional group of 5s, and an FCS. So that's what we aspire to do. Obviously, as we made the transition from being an independent to Conference USA, we had some Power 5s drop us, and I think it had something to do with the success that we've enjoyed the last several years. When they scheduled us, we were a transitioning FCS to FBS program, and they looked at that as an easy win. And then they've seen Virginia Tech, Syracuse, BYU, and Arkansas get beat by the Flames. So it's a little less, my phone is not ringing with Power 5 schools calling up at this point. So that has a big factor. But we have a really good schedule next year. I like, we're playing East Carolina, App State. Those are 2 good regional games for us. We have Virginia Tech coming back in the schedule in the future. We have series with Coastal, some other regional matchups. We actually have JMU coming on the schedule later on as well. So anyway, I feel we're in a good spot, and certainly excited about the future of Liberty football.
Outstanding.
Before we let you go, I have to talk a little basketball real quick. The team's coming out on fire. Big wins over Furman and Wichita State. How happy have you been? A lot of people thinking, okay, post-Darius McGee era, but this team's looking as strong as ever.
Yeah, Coach McKay, of course, does an incredible job. And I texted him the other night and said, we're playing like it's March, and the other people are playing like it's November. And I think he's really done an incredible job galvanizing this group. There's great leadership on the team, great chemistry, and obviously they're playing incredibly well. So things are certainly looking really bright for our basketball program as we head into our inaugural year in Conference USA.
Well, Ian, we appreciate the time once again. Thanks for coming on Flame Central Game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Turning our attention now to our Carl Miller Realty Field Pass. Tyson Pumachaw, this young man has been an interesting case for UMass, a little bit banged up. You see the yards passing. He's traditionally a runner. He was within the Georgia Tech program for a while. What do you expect out of him today, and what does he need to do to be successful?
Rhett, let me piggyback just for a second off of that. At Georgia Tech once upon a time, also at Clemson, a 4-star athlete. So, I mean, he very much is a talented player. I expect to see him try and use his legs. We've seen quarterbacks extend plays against Liberty in the past and have some success. I think he's going to use his athleticism and try and do that today.
Yeah, Pumachaw has the ability to throw long, throw short, and also extend plays. And when you can extend plays, it's a problem for the defense. So I think when he extends plays and he creates, he's going to make things happen.
Yeah.
Also joining us now is Tyron Dupree of the Liberty Flames, a captain on this team. Tyron, thanks for taking the time to join us. I'm going to give you an easy question, but a tough one right off the bat. The emotions of senior day for you, what's today been like so far?
Yes, sir. It's just a full of different emotions. I would say excitement most part, just to see my guys go out and ball out, just to do that one more time with them at home, it would be amazing. So just another opportunity to do that.
Tyron, Pat Kelly here. Obviously, 88 tackles on the year, coming up on 100. See, you got a couple sacks. I want to hear your dream scenario. Do you prefer coming off the edge, rushing the quarterback, nobody's blocking you, or do you prefer to see a receiver coming on a crossing route thinking, I'm about to blow this joker up?
That's the whole point, because nowadays game, you have to be more careful with hitting. So I would say a sack will be more fun for me.
So, hey, what's going on? I'm Mr. Dupree. I'm so excited, just enjoying your game all year long. I want to know how many interceptions you think we're going to walk away with today?
I'm not even thinking about that, honestly. Just to go out and execute with my guys would be more than any interception, more than any sack for me. So just hopefully executing with my guys today, putting a full game together, that'd be the best part of the day.
Awesome.
Tyron, this is Marshall Roberts, Coach Roberts. What's one thing you're looking for in the run game? What's one key you're looking for that you're going to dominate? Is it through the guard? Is it a certain formation? What's one thing you're looking for today?
I believe just they do a lot of, like, trips closed. So they try to get you with numbers to the field and get you backside with a backside run play. So fitting up those today will be pivotal.
Awesome stuff, Tyron.
Running game.
Best of luck today. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, once again, that was Tyron Dupree, captain on this Liberty football team. Classy young man, and obviously, knowing you get one more day at home on the Conference USA Championship game day, but a special day for him and these young men that have come into the program, and look how far they've brought it during his time.
Yeah, no, and I think it's special when you get a chance to look over at your guys and you realize that some of you guys outside of course, the next conference game is the conference championship is going to be here. We're probably never going to buckle it up again. Some of us, you know, we're going to have families, we're going to do professional things, but never this again. So let's make this thing special and let's leave it all out here.
I tell you what, he's been here 6 years, and there ain't anything he hasn't seen. So I enjoy watching him play football. He's a grown man out there.
I just enjoy the total awareness. The question that I asked him when he was down there on the field, the total awareness to say, well, the game has changed. I can't be thinking about blowing somebody up. I got to play smart. I got to be looking forward to playing the next week.
If he had said it become less fun, I would understand in that sense. All right, time to go up in the booth now. Matt Warner, Joe Yock meeting us. This is a game on paper that the next two really looks like the Flames should be able to take care of business. But Joe and Matt, what do you want to see this team polish up as they head towards Conference USA Championship play?
Yeah, Red, Joe and I have been talking about that here this morning. All the accolades Liberty has right now, top rushing team in the country. And what are they, almost a 4-touchdown favorite today? But as Red said, if you're going to win this USA Championship game, and then beyond that even, if you're going to beat what will probably be a really good bowl team later on down the road, what are some things the Flames have to dial in?
Yeah, I mean, that's really two parts to that. Is if you're going to win the last two, win a Conference USA Championship, you probably don't need to polish a lot.
Okay.
They're the best team that there is in Conference USA right now. Now, you go to the next. You want to compete on a national level, and we start talking the big talk.
Right.
The New Year's Six bowl game talk. So now you look at a team like a Missouri potentially, a Washington potentially like that, right? Offensively, I think Liberty, there's a handful of defenses that could stop Liberty. Outside of that, Liberty has enough players and the offense that they run that they can score points on most anybody. Where they're going to have a hard time is defensively. And it's nothing against the players, just they don't have the depth right now to be able to keep up with the big dogs. With that being said, they could get in a shootout, and you never know what direction that could go.
Yeah, you talk about depth. We talk about that desk down there,
Oh,
Joe.
it's unbelievable.
Corso, Herb Street,
Are you
McAfee,
kidding me?
Clown Show. You guys are the real deal. We're glad Flame Central Game Day is the preeminent pregame show in college football.
You know, Matt, the whole thing about Pat McAfee kicking the field goal deal, right? You know, that's nothing. Rhett McGibbon is throwing hot dogs into Pat Kelly's mouth.
Is that later in the show?
That's later in the show.
Okay,
Everybody hold tight.
Wow,
you wait. It's about to get exciting.
That's coming, right off our second break. We'll plan for that. I like the dance moves earlier, Joe. That was good as well.
That. You know, they've always said about me, I got hips like a paint mixer.
The picture doesn't lie.
Yeah.
It's time to dive in now. Freedom first inside the numbers, and this UMass defense has been leaky throughout the year, especially on third downs.
Yeah, they certainly have. You know, they're giving up a lot of yards on the ground as well. They really struggle. 127th in the country, giving up almost 210 yards per game, and not able to get off the field. Teams are converting almost 50% of their third downs. That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, Coach Brown usually has a great defense, but they're lacking in the talent. So when they go in their blitz packages, they're really having a hard time defending people in the back end.
And the thing is, and they're going to have an answer for this run-heavy Liberty University team, especially liking to move it in between the tackles. They're going to have an answer for it.
On the flip side of this, Liberty offensively has been a dynamo all season long.
I mean, let me know if you've heard this before, but this rushing attack is lethal. Almost 300 yards a game, putting up almost 500 yards per game in total offense. Super fun offense to watch. Jamie Chadwell has all of these guys clicking on all cylinders, and it's not just one guy. So many people can do it. The receivers, the backs, there's plenty.
They've had 4 consecutive games of, check this out, 450 yards.
Wow.
That's unbelievable what they're doing right now. Dominating.
Don Brown is a defensive guru. If there's anybody on this year's schedule that you wonder could put a hiccup in the Liberty run game, would it be him?
It would be him. Exactly him. He's seen it all over the years at the FBS level. He's been the high-powered defensive coordinator at many different levels. If they would do it, they would do a lot of run stunts where they would push vertical, wrap, and loop people on the run game. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has for Liberty today.
Yeah, Coach, you were singing his praises a little bit before we came on. We were talking 46 years of coaching experience. Yeah. I mean, you've seen a lot over that amount of time. I agree with your take. Going to try and get some guys freed up, some guys in space to try and tackle some of these backs today.
On the flip side of things, Liberty offensively, year one with a new coaching staff. Are you impressed how much they've been able to accomplish with this group in their first year? Because you go from playing a totally different style of offense, and it feels like Kaden Salter has fit in seamlessly.
Yeah, I can't speak for these guys, but I'm tremendously impressed. I thought this group was going to maybe struggle because they hadn't recruited those types of players that they were used to before. Coach, you know, you recruit a certain type of player for your offense. I wasn't sure that Liberty had those guys, or if they had enough of those guys. They've proven that they can seemingly run this offense with just about anybody.
There's no doubt. With 50% of this roster turning over and them being able to implement a different offense and teach it to Kaden and all those around and bring them together, they've got a mission, what they do, they've got a culture and how they do it. So Jamie is really, those kids are buying in.
I know that Jamie Chadwell gets a lot of press, obviously, but I think the unsung hero in this group has to be Bill Durkin, O-line coach, up for the Broyles Award. This guy has done tremendous things with this Liberty O-line.
Yeah, no, and you see it. These guys get their hands on the guys in front of them, make it up to the next level, and they're really pushing the ball forward. You have a guy like Cooley that gets the ball in his belly, and he's pushing the ball forward. 3, 4, 1 is split for about 8, and he could put the game on his back with big guys like that are pushing the line forward. It's really hard to stop something like that.
Right. I love that you mentioned Coach Durkin. I call him Durkin Donuts. I mean, first of all, I love what he's done with this group. They are a complete 180 compared to last year, giving up 8 sacks on the year. This time last year, they'd given up 34. One thing that I would like to call out, a little fun fact for the day, Coach Durkin was an All-American at UMass, 4-year letter winner, also started his coaching career as a strength and conditioning coach at UMass. So this guy does it all.
Well, they're doing an outstanding job. If you remember, Brendan Schlittler, he's not even playing. He's out.
Right.
So what they're doing with that offensive line and how dominant they are, it's a testament to coaching.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to see. You go back to that second year with Malik Willis, and there was back-to-back games where he was being brought down 8 times a game, it felt like, and it's crazy to see that Liberty hasn't even let up that many sacks this season. They have just been that great all year long. A lot of fun to watch, and Coach Chadwell obviously getting his guys ready for today's game, focus and dial in. He's standing by with Emily Austin.
3-2. Coach Chadwell, senior day today. I know you've only been with these seniors for 1 season, but how much did they help in the process of guys buying into this program?
They're the biggest help because they had a choice to either go one way or go the other, and they decided, hey, they're going to stick together and play for each other. And the reason why we're sitting here 10-0 is because of them and their buy-in.
When you look on paper, UMass might be a lesser opponent, then you have the rumors swirling about the coaching vacancies. How do you block out the noise, not only for you, but your players?
Well, you focus on what you can control. We've told them since we got here that's all about what we can control, not what you can't. And our standard is playing against ourselves, right? It's always Liberty versus Liberty, no matter who the opponent is. And for us, the main focus is, can we play our best game? And if we do, good things will happen.
Another chance to get some respect around college football. Coach, best of luck today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Flames.
Flames looking to strike the stone once again, go 11-0 on the season. We talked about the O-line just moments ago, and Coach Roberts, I'm going to put this in your wheelhouse. You were excited to talk about Jordan White, a West Virginia transfer. What is it that he's capable of doing that has set Liberty up so well?
Here's what's crazy. When you can get a center like him and he can pull to the outside and kick, pull and loop, pull on their triple option and lead as well, they're going to be a man up in the run game. He's an outstanding football player and athletic.
Coach Rocco used to talk about guys that he used the term dancing bears. And, you've got these big, physically imposing guys, but they've got sweet feet. They've got good hips. I think that's exactly what you're describing there in Jordan White, Coach.
What's absolutely amazing is that they're pulling the center on gap scheme. So usually you pull the guard, they're pulling the center, and it's really hard defensively when you can pull the center and get him around. You're always going to be a man down. And you're watching number 53. When he pulls today, it's probably going to be an explosive play.
Yeah, no, and it's special. Especially, I'm always impressed by big guys in their hand placement. He's putting his hands right where you want them. So even if there is a little bit of tussling, he can get away with it because his hands are always in good position.
Offensive line, usually called the buffet boys. I fit in with that group. But how big of an athlete is he? Because obviously moving around that line and being able to get upfield when needed as well, that takes some major athleticism for a guy that's made to be big.
He's 6'2", 295. And I'm sure right now he's probably 300, close to 300. Yeah. So this kid can, but what we don't understand is he can sink, he can bend, he can still keep his hands inside, and then he finishes people and he pancakes them. So that's what's amazing about this kid. And he's running the line checks. The center's the kid that runs the show. So he's smart as well. So I think a lot of them.
Definitely a gift horse in a lot of ways. Liberty coming in unsure of the center position. So far, we're coming into this season, and he's been a guy that's just taken it by the reins.
He really has.
Yeah, I mean, this group is really impressive. And I keep hearkening back to last year because it's what we saw. Just the job that they've done protecting your quarterback, getting upfield, they're blocking guys in space. I think the average football fan may not understand just how freakishly athletic these guys are. When you're 290, 300, 315 pounds, and you're able to get up second level on a backer who's 220, 230, who's a little shiftier than you, to be able to lock in and engage, that is tremendously impressive.
Well, Don Brown, again, we mentioned, tasked with stopping this Liberty run game. He is standing by with Emily Austin.
Yeah, here with Coach Brown, a.k.a. Mr. Blitz is what I've heard. Coach, you guys had extra time to prepare for this Liberty offense. What is the key for your defense to slow them down, especially the run?
I think we got to, vary our looks. But if you don't stop the run and give yourself a chance in that area, you're going to have problems. So got to stop the run and then handle the play action pass.
A chance to ruin the Flames' perfect season. You have that opportunity today. You told us earlier this week that you like the way you guys match up with Liberty. Why?
I just think, from a speed standpoint on the back end and from a standpoint of offensive line to their defensive line, I think it's a good matchup. So just now you gotta put it out there and let the chips fall where they may.
Coach, best of luck. Show the guys the pinky. Show them the pinky. Look at that.
Boy, that's a bad one right there.
Guys, back to you.
Gotta love it. Lovely, he's throwing it.
I was picturing some Austin Powers there.
Are we allowed to say that on the Flame Central Game?
Perhaps, I don't know.
May not be Liberty approved. Mr. Blitz, they call him. We have not talked about that aspect of their game, but how dangerous will that be today?
Oh, it's going to be, you just heard Coach say it. They're going to vary their looks. They're not going to give the same look to our quarterback. It's going to be middle of the field closed, middle of the field open. They're going to rotate. They're going to bring extra people. They're going to overload. The house is coming today.
And where that becomes difficult, especially from a quarterback perspective, is if I'm having to really start thinking and slowing things down, that extra second that I'm holding the ball is going to result in possibly a sack, a strip sack. When you have to play thinking, when you have to start using your brain too much, you start to play slow. When you play slow, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, and I think Kaden Salter is going to have to show the world just kind of what he's about. And if they want to send those extra guys, just be prepared for his quick reads. And that's the quickest thing, to be able to back a defense up and force them to be honest. And when you can do that, as well as run the ball straight down their throats, that presents a really unique opportunity for the Liberty University Flames to be able to really come out on top.
Earlier we talked about Jerry Kill, New Mexico State, the turnaround that he has done there in that program. Is that time coming for UMass with Don Brown?
I mean, you would like to think so. However, you look at their schedule, like from this year, you play an Auburn, you play at Penn State. Those are obviously going to be some losses there. I think he does a tremendous job coaching it. I don't know if I'd be ready to say that they're ready for quite the turnaround of a New Mexico State, despite the fact that they did beat them in week 0 this year.
I think they have a tough road to climb, but if they can continue to train the athletes they have and then bring the right ones in, he might have a chance, especially defensively.
This is a program that has been tough sledding for the last decade. It feels turning around a program is hard, but how important would it be for them? They want to get into a conference. That secret's not kept in the bag. How big would that be for them?
That's absolutely huge. That is the secret key, that if they can get in a conference, get a bowl game locked in, and be able to recruit and say, here's who we are, here's who we play, and then you have the same opponents every year, then you can really dial in and make the special things happen.
Yeah, well, hopefully big things coming for UMass in the future years. Well, hey, every sack is a sack to give back this season. Food Lion Feeds will donate 1,000 meals to a neighbor in need for each Liberty sack this season. Every week I look at that, and I know I'm missing out sitting here and not going to eat with people out in the parking lot. You guys are great, but, man, that looks awfully
Why do we not move the desk down there, like where all the food is? People can bring us some stuff. We'll let them on camera for a little while.
No, sit and we can do like taste testing. You know, we can have a whole little barbecue competition over here and determine who the winner is.
A guy like me, I just need a bib, though. Hey, Liberty 5 sacks, 30 yards lost last game against ODU, their best output of the season. All right, still to come, Chris Vanini joins Emily Austin to chat about Conference USA. We look at our Segra Impact players, and it's award watch list season for Kaden Salter.
As humans, we are constantly growing and learning in every stage of life, from taking our first steps to graduating college. The pursuit of knowledge is something we all strive for. Liberty University's vision was crafted with all of this in mind to train champions for Christ from kindergarten to PhD. The K-12 years are some of the most formative years of our lives. That's why Liberty University Online Academy was created, to prepare the next generation for college through certified teachers and flexible, Bible-based coursework that allows families to schedule their schooling around life. For many, the college experience is something very special. Students from across the globe attend our world-class campus to learn and grow in community, not only through academics and athletics, but with spiritual growth being at the center of it all. And for those seeking a different experience, Liberty University Online provides access to a flexible, high-quality college education with over 600 programs to choose from, with access to a campus you can still call home. We believe that learning is a lifetime pursuit, and education should be accessible to everyone. So whatever stage of life you're in, you can train to be a champion for Christ at Liberty University.
Mountains, the campus of Liberty University. UMass and the Flames set to go at 1 p.m. on ESPN+. Well, again, the Conference USA season is winding down, but still lots to be done. With more on that, we head on into Emily Austin in studio.
The party in the CUSA is winding down, and we bring back a fan favorite, the athletic senior writer Chris Vanini. Chris, we gave you last week off, so we might, come at you a little bit this week. The stage is set for the CUSA Conference Championship game, and your Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are not part of it. Would you say WKU is the biggest disappointment this season?
Yes. I wouldn't say they're my Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. It was just an incorrect prediction that I made at the beginning of the year. But yeah, no, they've been a letdown this season to not make the championship game in a weakened conference. They brought a lot back from last year's team, the leading passer in the country. But I think a lot of the issues really stem from the defense, which has fallen off a bit this year. And yeah, New Mexico State coming from behind, coming from a tough start to the season to take that other spot in the championship game. So it's turned out to be a lot more interesting and exciting conference title race, I think, than maybe we thought coming into the year.
Yeah, an Aggies team that lost to Liberty's opponent today, UMass, early in the season. What do you think New Mexico State has done in order to turn their season around?
Well, it really starts with their ability to run the ball. They are third in the country, averaging 6 yards per carry as a team. That's up from like in the mid 40s a year ago. So Diego Pavia, quarterback, has been very good, as I thought he would coming into the year. This is a team I expected to win 7 or 8 games. I said that at the beginning of the season, but they had that stumble out of the gate, the loss to UMass. Wondered if I should reconsider that, but they pulled things together in their first year in the conference. They have a really, really electric rushing attack. and that's what's spurred them on to, I think, 6 straight wins now, and going to the championship game.
It'll be interesting to see how that conference championship plays out, just a couple weeks away. Okay, so when we look at your Twitter, our fans can follow you at Chris Vanini on X. You said your Sunday thoughts. It's time to really consider Liberty for that Group of 5 New Year's 6 spot. They're 10-0, and Tulane has 4 straight one-score escapes from some pretty bad teams. So, Chris, my question to you, obviously Liberty would need to win out, but do style points matter? Like, do the Flames need to really win these games in order to make a statement for that New Year's 6 spot?
I do think it does. Now, Tulane does have opportunities, more opportunities than Liberty to get some big wins. They've got UTSA next week. If they win that, they're in the conference championship game against another pretty solid team. That's an opportunity for 2 really good wins. And Tulane obviously still is ahead in the college football playoff rankings. But it's also an opportunity for some losses there for Tulane. If they lose to UTSA, who's a 3-loss team, and it could be SMU or Memphis on the other side of the conference championship game. They play each other this week. They both have 2 losses. So it's a real possibility. You have an undefeated Liberty up against a 2-loss American team for that spot, and potentially a 1-loss MAC team as well in Toledo or a Mountain West team. So it is something worth considering a lot more than I thought maybe a few weeks ago because of how Tulane has been playing. They are banged up. They are missing a lot of players. So it's on the table right now that Tulane could drop a game here soon. And if that happens, the door could start to open for Liberty. Needs some things to happen. But first, Liberty needs to win, and then, probably put up some style points.
The message Jamie Chadwell has said to his team is control what you can control. We need to just win these games. And speaking of Chadwell, his name has been thrown around for some of the coaching vacancies out there. How worried should Flames fans be about Coach Chadwell already leaving the Mountain?
I think it's possible, but it's a credit to the job he's done and what he's done at Liberty. You know, when he was at Coastal Carolina, it seemed natural that Jamie Chadwell could move from there to a Power 5 job, Power 4 job. It didn't happen for whatever reason. Liberty was a major step up in salary and resources and types of stuff, but it's still obviously not a Power 5 level. So Mississippi State's open. I think he'd be a really good fit for Mississippi State. I think it's still early. It'll take a couple of weeks before these things get hammered down, and we'll see where it goes. You know, you never really know where the coaching carousel is going to go, but Liberty's got a very, very good coach who's done a very good job. But Liberty's also won with other head coaches too. So it's not a program I think would fall off by any means if it had a head coaching change, because there is a lot to offer, which is how they were able to get Chadwell in the first place.
I don't think Liberty fans will be able to handle that after the departure of Hugh Freeze. So hopefully that won't be the case. Chris, thank you so much again for your time and all of your great insight.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, guys, we'll send it back out to you at the desk.
Emily, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It's time to give thanks. Halloween is over. Stop scaring Flames faithful with that kind of news. Now, I will say Jamie Chadwell did come out this week and address those rumors and said this is where we want to be. This is where a lot of our coaching staff has bought houses, and we are here for the long term. Now, I know lots of things can change, but it seems like Jamie Chadwell is happy here at Liberty.
Rhett, I just need to know, is anyone doing the hard-hitting journalism? You're in the media, of course. I'm curious about an Alan York and Nick Pierce. Did anyone ask, did you fly down to Mississippi? I want to know.
I know what you're talking
about. I need to know.
I don't think anybody did ask. I think they're too scared to ask at a point like this. But I will say, from all of that, with rumors swirling, that means one thing. You're having a successful year. And that's a big thing for Liberty Athletics, is just going from a coach like Hugh Freeze that really did a great job of putting Liberty on the map. And I know that his exit was not as sweet as a lot of people would have liked, but you come in with Jamie Chadwell and company, and a lot of curiosities going on. You had transfers moving out coming in this season. He has done great things with this Liberty program, and in a lot of ways you got to take it as a compliment. People want your coach.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Coach didn't go anywhere. He's been at practice all week long because I've been at practice all week long. So if he went to Mississippi, I mean, he must have like a time portal or something like that he jumped into. So all that stuff is just fluff. People can edit stuff and post stuff on the internet. So, yeah, no looking into that. Nah, the guy was here all week.
All right. You have it right there from Walter Virgil Jr.
Still want the hard-hitting question to get asked.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do it. If I have to do it, I will.
All right, Pat. We'll put you up to the task. All right, time to turn now to our impact players presented by Segra. And as we look here at UMass, K'Ron Lynch-Adams, their running back, is a stud, plain and simple.
Yeah, I love watching this guy play. You look at his film from the Army game, 34 times he toted the rock in the game, 234 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, one of only 16 players in the country over 1,000 for the season. This guy's explosive.
This guy's both quick and fast, because there is a difference, and he keeps his pads low and he gets vertical, always gaining yardage. So he's a really good back. I think he's one of the best backs in the country.
What are they saying? He's number 4 in the FBS in missed broken tackles. I think it was like 64. So that means that he's shaking people off of him and mushing them in the face. So we got to wrap this guy up.
Billy Wooden, 43 tackles on the year, 5.5 sacks.
He looks like a bear to me. This guy is massive. I mean, he leads them in a lot of defensive statistical categories. I'm glad I'm not on the field to be tackled by him, but yeah, he will wreak some havoc for sure.
You can't single block this kid. So they're going to have to double. They're going to have to chip on him, but he's a heck of a football player.
Yeah, he just looks hungry, man. He looks like he wants a double
He wants those
cheeseburger
ribs
with extra
from earlier,
bacon
right?
on it.
Yeah.
He's just ready to go.
I think I did see him out in the parking lot earlier, to be honest. All right, C.J. Daniels spoke about him earlier as well. Tremendous game a week ago, 2 touchdowns over the century mark in receiving yards. And like you said, Walter, great to see him healthy. A guy that was kind of going stride for stride with Demario Douglas. Their freshman year, injuries came, and now he's healthy, and it's showing.
Yeah, I do not get tired watching this guy play. Explosive threat, great hands. Number 4 in the country, averaging 21.4 yards per catch. Again, take the top off the defense. He'll make the tough catch over the shoulder in the fade there. Former receiver, I love watching him play.
All right, Christmas right around the corner. Jerome Jolly Jr., we will call it a tremendous Week 1 game with multiple interceptions, and he's been consistent all year for LU.
He has. He's so athletic, and he does so much. He's got the kind of stats that would make him a D lineman, the kind of stats that would make him a linebacker, which he is, and then the kind of stats that would make him a DB. So this kid's all over the place.
I love it. He has a nose for the ball. He finds himself around the play, and he wants to get aggressive all the time. I like it.
All right, here's a tough question. Lynch, Adams, or Cooley? Who are you taking?
Cooley.
Oh.
Cooley.
Both as
disgusted look on their faces.
Oh, I mean, because Lynch Adams, granted, the guy is tough, he's shifty, but at the end of the day, you want a guy like Cooley that could take 2 people and take them on their back and take them for a nice 5-yard ride and stretch out, and that's the type of guy this kid is.
All right, he's been used a ton this season. Lots of yards and multiple touches on the rock a game, like well into double digits.
Yeah.
Worried at all about him getting fatigued?
I was until I went to practice, and he's just hanging out, drinking the Gatorade. I'm like, how your body feeling? He was like, man, I feel great. I feel greater now than I did Week 1. And I think that spells trouble for anybody on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage to that kid, because he just gets stronger and stronger.
It's just a testament to the strength staff and the nutrition staff. And the way they can get a kid revamped again and let him do it again, it's absolutely amazing. He's hitting his stride right now.
I think I'm most impressed with the last 5 games. He's averaging 23 totes per game, averaging 127 yards on the ground. The guy does it all. With as many weapons as they have on offense, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, for sure, they're going to divide these things up. 10 carries for him, 10 carries for him. But no, he's toting this thing.
Yeah, he has been lights out so far this season. Another player that we can have as an impact each and every week is Kaden Salter. With more on him, we go down once again to Emily Austin.
One of the main reasons for Liberty's success offensively this season has been thanks to Kaden Salter, a.k.a. K-Salt. He has compounded quite the resume this season. 35 total touchdowns on the year, more than 2,000 yards through the air, 700 on the ground. I asked head coach Jamie Chadwell earlier this week, how much have you seen Kaden grow in your offense from game 1 to now? And he told me exceptionally. We were cautious early on because we didn't really know what we had. We knew the talent was there, but now today we call plays with 100% confidence that Kaden Salter is going to make something of it. The offensive coaches know this, and now not only that, the players are also seeing it and believing in him when he puts up these numbers, and social media is taking notice as well. Salter has been named a 4-time Conference USA Player of the Week, Earl Campbell Award, Davey O'Brien, quarterback class of 2023, the Manning Award, the Maxwell Award semifinalist. So when you look at all of these recognition of what this quarterback has been able to do in Jamie Chadwell's offense in just one season, it's been pretty remarkable. Kickoff just moments away between UMass and Liberty. We'll be right back after this.
Can't accept the loss, I'm hard-headed. Risk anything to be great, and I'm not letting nobody rob.
Now the People's three, boom.
I can make nice or make history.
Bounce pass, Robinson dunks it. Vincent, long three, near side, boom. Corner road for three, you bet. Cleveland going down the baseline and dunks this one down.
Welcome back to the Mountain once again. UMass Minutemen Liberty Flames set to go 1 p.m. on ESPN+. Rhett McKibben here along with the guys, and we are excited to get game day going once again. The Flames trying to go 11-0 on the season, but it is time for our keys to the game. Coach Roberts, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, UMass has to win the time of possession. They got to possess the ball. They got to run it. They got to matriculate down the field, getting first down after first down. They got to keep the ball. The second one is they have to limit explosive plays. If Liberty's throwing over the top for 70-yard touchdown plays, and there's 5 of them, they're not going to be around very long, and they're not going to be able to successfully stay in the game. And then the last one, they can't have 1 turnover. No turnovers. Possess the ball. Make sure that you're controlling it to even have a chance to play here.
Yeah, Liberty, one of the better teams in the nation in turnover margin. Pat, let's kind of put you on the spot here a little bit. How do you want to grade the keys, since you're kind of like not giving your keys to the game?
No, I thought Coach was spot on. The first one is going to be tough, of course. Liberty, #1 in the country in time of possession. Liberty loves to keep it. Great point. By not letting Liberty on the field, it's certainly going to help. And then I think you're exactly right. You have to take advantage of every single possession. You cannot give Liberty extra chances. As we've seen, they put up almost 40 points a game. Can't give them extra chances to score. Every time UMass has it, they need to put points on the board. So, Coach, I thought you did a great job with the keys.
Yeah, high compliments there from Pat Kelly. All right, Walter, go for it.
All right, I'm being graded now. Okay, so if we're going to get out the gate, the most important thing is that Liberty University has to start fast, put their foot down on the pedal, and don't pull up. Can't afford to sleep on your opponent this week. Come on out, establish that run game, and rock out. Number 2, controlling the line of scrimmage, realizing that run game is going to be imperative, being able to get everything going with Cooley and the guys, forcing them to bring an extra guy from their secondary down into that tackle box. The moment that you do that, as K Salt starts to lick his chops, he realizes that a big ball is on the menu. And number 3, keep UMass's O-line in their place. If those guys can't get to maneuvering how they want to, double teaming, getting up to the next level so that the running backs can see daylight, if you could keep those guys in place, it's going to be a very long day because you're going to force that quarterback to have to beat you, and I like Liberty University secondary.
Felt like I was in church there with the sermon getting preached. I loved it.
Let's go.
Thought you did a good job on those.
Good stuff. All right, let's take a look now. I think you guys were like cheating on homework here when I look at your game picks. Everybody right in the same area. It's like Price is Right, just trying to one-up one another to win the prize. Walter, we'll start with you here. Give us your game pick.
Liberty University, 43-13. It's going to be a shoot. I mean, it's going to be a one-sided shootout. I see Kaden Salter just going nuts in this place.
I got the Flames, 45-14, flat out, that kind of game.
Hey guys, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of annoyed when we were talking about the picks because I write mine down. I say Liberty 45-13, and then I look over at Coach and he says, well, and I was like, we're 1 point off of each other. What's going on? The only thing I can think is Coach Roberts coached me back in the day, so we've got that Liberty connection going. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I've got Liberty winning big today.
Great minds think alike there. You have ODU scoring less points than UMass, a team that ODU obviously has done better this season than UMass. What do you think? And I know we're talking about 14 points here. I'm not trying to, pick a needle out of a haystack. But what is it you think offensively that they'll be able to score more than ODU against this Flames team?
I just think the Simpson kid, number 8, the wide receiver, he's explosive. And if Pumajan, like we say, can extend plays and they can get one down the field on us, they might be able to score. And then that running back, he gets vertical. So he's going to be a problem today sometimes.
I think it's a different offense. I think ODU, that they are very similar like a Tennessee Volunteer team. They'll spread you out. They'll get those receivers outside of the numbers. And I think that's well catered to Liberty. They've got some athletes. They've got guys that can make plays in space. I think this UMass team is going to be a little bit more in the box. We talked about those big nasties up front, going to try and get to the second level, get on those backers, get on those safeties. And I think that's a little bit better suited to UMass, which is why I think they'll put up more points.
And I think that at some point in time, because I have them scoring 13, I see special teams being special, coming and clipping an extra point.
All right. Can't wait to see it coming up here once again at 1 p.m. We'll be right back here post-game show afterwards on Liberty Flames social media. Senior Day on the Mountain. Tune in at 1 p.m. on ESPN+. Matt Warner, Joe Yock with the call.